Okay. Great state of Texas. Okay, so guys, thank you for coming today. This is the first look at the SlingShot, and I'm going to explain what it does, what it's about, and what I want from the next 6 months, from this to 8 months before we release it. So first of all, I'm just absolutely amazed that we have, I'm going to go through this list because it's just phenomenal. We've got people from Switzerland, Ireland, UK, South Africa, Canada, Philippines, USA, UAE, Hong Kong. Lots of people from Texas here, Puerto Rico, Abu Dhabi, Turkey, Barbados, UK. So we've got a massive mixture. And again, for me in Dubai, it's just gone 8 p.m. And I'm sure there's people at different times of the day as well. So I do appreciate you turning up to look at this. So I'm going to go through it first and explain what's going to happen. Right. So the SlingShot's been in development for 9 months now. It's been very challenging with the logic that I wanted to work. You know, you give a developer, he says, you write it, I can code it. It's not that simple. But it's a strategy, a combination of strategies that really works well. So, and it's great for scalping, day trading, swing trading, and or investing as well for longer term positions, whether it's stocks, ETFs, Forex, futures, and crypto. So whether you're on a 1 minute time frame or even a weekly time frame, this works extremely well. So it's a trading and investing strategy. There's two sides to this. There's the with trend momentum trading and the trend failure, the reversals. Okay, so these are more formalized with a set of rules. So it combines xBrat logic, and that xBrat is my brain. Okay, and it takes some of the logic from some of the indicators, like the Elliott wave. Okay, Elliott wave is my bread and butter. That's how I got into trading. That's how I was managing people's money with Elliott wave. And then came the other strategies that sort of complemented that. The logic also includes quite a lot of Fibonacci in there as well, but don't worry, you don't need to learn any of that. It does it all behind the scenes. And it takes the logic of our false breakout stochastic as well. So let's dive straight into it. And then we're going to go through this sort of short 15 minutes or so, go through some examples, and then you can obviously ask your questions. So this is what it looks like. This is Amazon on the 30-minute time frame. So initially, we get this move up on the chart, and we print this yellow line, only if we get certain criteria. So this is a bullish trend, obviously. This is going up from the bottom left. The bullish trend has multiple false breakout stochastics. So when a stochastic is in the overbought zone, for example, you would expect it to come out and go back down again. But when it crosses over percentage K, percentage D, don't worry about it. Don't really need to learn it. But when those two cross over, you would expect it to come back down again. But they have what's called a false breakout, and they cross back up again, and then they cross down again, and they cross back up again. So it stays in that overbought zone for quite a long time. Now there is a certain criteria where we found that gives us a strong trend. So then we print that on the chart. Okay, so that's the first thing. The next thing is the pullback. So what we're looking for here is to measure the pullback against the main trend. So the pullback against that trend finds support in our probability pullback zones, okay? And this is where it's got to find support if we're going to trade with the trend. So the top zone is an 85% probability, 80% probability is the middle zone, and 75% probability is the bottom zone. Those probabilities are to hit this second target zone here. If I just put those target zones on. So the entry at the moment is through the EMA cloud, okay? But the part of the reason why I'm launching this early and getting these people using it on beta is to develop a better entry strategy, a trade management strategy, things like that. So, so we target 1, target 2, target 3. Okay, so Amazon on the 30-minute for me is a swing trading time frame. Yeah, so you're going to carry this over 2 to 3 days. You know, you probably might get in on Monday or Tuesday and carry all the way through to the end of the week. So this is what we would call a standard move up. Pull back, measure it. It's pulled back against a false breakout stochastic. It wants to return to that main bullish trend. When it does, we have that target 1, target 2, target 3. And we can see that pullback, 85% probability, it's going to hit target 2. Okay. Let's move forward. At the moment, we're going to manage with the EMA cloud. But again, what I want to do is develop and spend money on a better trade management strategy built in with the and we'll probably take some of the logic from the manager, for example. But again, when you're trading this type of trade, it's slightly different to those, to the VWAP Predator, to the xBrat algo and that sort of thing. So it will behave slightly different. There's a lot of fib zones where you'll pull back and then continue to go. So we're going to work on that as well. So trade confirmations, again, important. So everything that we do with xBrat, it's all about signal confirmation, and that confirmation comes from the bias depth heat map. Now, will it look like that with SlingShot? Don't know. We're going to trial some different things to get that confirmation and try and keep the chart as clean as possible. But right now, part of that beta testing is having that bias depth heat map there. So we pull down, we don't get a false breakout stochastic this time. We pull back into the first probability pullback zone. We get the little red arrow signal here as well. Yes, you get a green one here, but look at the bias depth heat map. Green, yellow, red. We get the red arrow down. It's found resistance in this time for the short. We look down, bias depth heat map, all 6 time frames are red, go short. Target 1, target 2, target 3. Okay, and there's that little red arrow. The next one is we start to move away from target 3. We print the false breakout stochastic here. So we know this is quite a strong bullish trend. It pulls back. It found support in this first zone, 85% probability. We get the little green arrow. We get the confirmation from all 6 time frames to go long. We go long. Target 1, target 2, target 3, and beyond. Okay. There's that little green arrow again. So day trading now. So this is CL on the 5 minutes. So, you know, we've done some slightly higher time frames. We're going to do CL on the time frame. This time I'm going to introduce the first time you can see when we talk about trend failures. So this is the trend failure here. So off to the left of the screen, we get this. We got a bullish move. It pulls back into the pullback zones and then fails. You see, we get the red arrow here. Now at this point, I've seen from the behavior from this that we don't get the confirmation because we're actually having a trend failure, okay? And it's a reversal. So one of the things is to actually work on a sensible entry strategy and how to offer that as part of the software when we get that trend failure. You can see the short here is really good. We get a pullback, we get a false breakout stochastic here, we get a pullback into our zones. Now at this point here, the short is not good for me because we have 2 of those 6 time frames on the bias depth heat map in yellow. So at that point, we wouldn't take the trade. Okay, it comes down to target 1, then pulls back up slightly deeper. Okay, and then we just don't get there. So that's one of the reasons where we don't take the trade. Remember, my whole ethos is finding reasons not to take the trade. The rules have got to be met. If they're not, we don't trade them. Then we reverse up. We pull up, we pull back against that initial bullish move. The SlingShot recognizes this is a good opportunity. The pullback meets a lot of criteria and it finds support down in that bottom zone. I know it just nips out there, but we don't get a close below it, and that's important. We get all 6 time frames on the bias depth heat map. Green, we go long. Target 1, target 2, target 3. But you can see here, before we get to target 3, we have a pullback. Okay. Now this is on the 5 minute time frame. Those pullbacks do happen on higher time frames as well before you get to target 3. A lot of times we'll shoot through to target 1, target 2, but getting to target 3 is achievable 80% of the time, 75, 70% of the time. But we have to develop a better way to ensure that we're not getting out too early and that this is measurable before it goes to wave 3. So this is something else that we'll be working on with the development with the beta group here. And so at this point here, you see, this is where I would, in fact, because it came out below the EMA cloud, so I just put the EMA cloud on as a bit of a basic thing there. In theory, that's where I would get out, but then I've left something on the table. It's gone up to wave. It's gone up to hit the target 3, which you can obviously going to make more money. But then look at it come back down to test that previous support. And this is where we're going to add those guardian zones in as well, because that's going to be very, very crucial for this. And then it goes on back up again to here. Okay, so swing trading management. So this is AMT, a stock on the daily time frame. So again, what we can see here is we have a bullback against the bullish trend. It's pulling back, it's pulling back. You see we get the red arrow here. Then we go trend failure. Excuse me, man. Been talking all day. I have to turn the volume. Sorry about that. Bit of a coughing fit there. Pull back. We're looking for the short here. Pulls back into the middle zone. We go short all the way down. And then at the moment, we're looking at breaking that EMA cloud. We pull back up. We pull back down again into this pullback zone and so on. So trade management is something I really want to work on. And again, the manager logic is very, very important to me because it understands behavior. And I want to be using some of that logic in how we manage that and represent that on that particular slingshot indicator. So that's where, in theory, we would take out the short. I would have dearly liked to have taken the short out on that bullish engulfing. So because we left a little bit on the table there, I need to understand more about that behavior. No, a close below the cloud, Maged, for the short. But the thing is, we've got to work on that as a beta group in actually getting the sensible entry strategy. And part of that development is going back to the developer and understanding these the arrows a little bit more and giving some sort of more clarity. So trend failure is one of the things, the other side of the coin as well, because trends fail. So market conditions change, and there's various reasons for that. So that could be it could be something to do with a big surprise in economic data. And what you see here is this is oil. You know, you can see xBrat slingshot 1.0 beta 3. So again, we're 9 months in and we're on beta 3 right now. But it's fully functioning. We just need to fine tune it. So here we get this bullish move up. Obviously, there's some data that actually comes out and ruins that bullish trend. But we get the opportunity. You see the red arrow pointing down here. That's an indication that this bullish trend may fail. We then we have a little pop out of that zone, but comes back in again. Okay, so at that point, it's not failed. Then we get the candle that comes out and closes below that probability pullback zone. So we take the short, we take the trend failure, and there it goes all the way down. Now it pulls back and it looks like it's going to pull back into one of our pullback zones and go short again, but it doesn't. We get the green arrow, we get a move outside, and the bearish trend fails, okay? A bearish trend fails, and we look for the long. No, this is not Elliott wave, okay? This is not Elliott wave. This is totally different. It takes some of the Elliott wave logic. So I'm not going to add the Elliott. This is a slide anyway, so I can't add it on. But it takes some of the logic. So the Elliott wave indicator suite that we have only trades the fifth wave. It doesn't trade the first, the second, or the third, or the fourth. What this will do is find the right opportunities to trade all of the waves, okay? So putting on there is totally confusing. So multiple trading opportunities, again, is one of my big criteria within a trading strategy. So in this point here, we get a trend failure. So this is US dollar, Canadian dollar on the 5 minute. So I've used stocks, futures, and Forex here just to show you. So we get a trend failure there, and we can go short. We obviously at this point probably take the profit when it comes out the EMA cloud, but we're going to change that. Then we get an opportunity where it pulls back into the probability fallback zone, and we get the short trade, okay? Then it pulls back into a smaller pullback zone, and we get another short trade, and then it does the same thing again, pulls back into there, and then it breaks that bearish trend, pulls back into there, and we get a long trade, target 1, target 2, target 3. And again, it's very intuitive, and it, again, there's no Elliott wave here because there are multiple waves within there. And the idea is I want to get away from that word, and this is why it's called slingshot, because there are lots of trading opportunities on trend failures and with trend. So multiple entries, again, this is what I just had earlier. So we have the false breakout stochastic up here. It pulls back. It finds support in the 75% zone. We get the green arrow to long. This is our first entry to go long. We get the confirmation from the bias depth heat map. It goes long. It just tips target 2. It pulls back, finds support now in the 80% zone, okay? We go along, we've got an entry, all 6 time frames are green, we go long. We add another contract at this point, hits target 1, hits target 2, starts to come back down, get a red arrow, early warning, and then this time I've put the manager on the ribbon there to show you when, potentially we could use some of that logic to when the ribbon turns red to get out. But I want to make it a little bit more intuitive than that. So again, swing trading, scalping, day trading, any type of instrument, we can measure Elliott wave, Fibonacci, false breakout, stochastic. So a bit of black box stuff in there as well. But the idea is to get those trading opportunities for with trend failure, no matter what time frame, no matter what instrument, because the behavior will pretty much be the same. So the beta group offer is only for 50 lifetime licenses available. So when this comes out to the public, it won't be on a lifetime license. It will be a monthly license of I think it's going to be around $200, $250, because we're going to be building in more logic to it. But you're going to get this for life, which includes all updates. So you're going to be getting, when this is finished, it's going to have the bias depth heat map logic in it, but it will look different and it will give us that confirmation somehow. And we're going to work on that together. It's going to have the trade management logic built in as well. So it's not going to be just the manager. We're going to be really understanding, so we can be able to switch it from swing trading to day trading, for example, that sort of thing. So there will be lots of updates, but you will get it for life, okay, for this beta group, and it will take 6 to 8 months to actually get it ready to get out, but then it'll be $200, $250 a month. So for the beta group, there's some obviously criteria. You've got to be a NinjaTrader user because the logic doesn't work on any other platform at the moment because it's too complex. Okay. We're going to have a dedicated WhatsApp group where I will be a member. And I know some people in here are in the enterprise membership group and they know I do interact every day. We will definitely interact every day. We'll have monthly Zoom calls with me live, more like meetings rather than webinars like this, where we'll be able to chip in ideas. So what I'm looking for is a great mixture of traders, whether it's options, swing trading stocks, day trading futures, intraday on Forex, that sort of thing. What I'm trying to do is get a good group of different types of traders in there so we can really test different strategies, because I know there's a couple of people who've already got this part of my apprenticeship, and one's an options trader and one's a futures trader, so this is going to work very well. So we're going to look at that continual development process. This is the first time I've done this. Usually I have the idea to put what I do into software. I then work with the developer to do it, and then I test it. We have, sometimes we're at beta version 13 before it goes out, and then what we do is we just push it out. But I've listened to people, and sometimes what I put out takes a little bit more education because I've got 20 odd years experience. The strategies in my brain, I've had put it into software, and to me, it works simple. But if I can get 50 retail traders using it part of the beta group, then it will become easier for users to use it in the future when we release it. Yes, I have run it on non-time-based charts as well, and it is really awesome. So because there's always pullbacks no matter what you're running. Okay. So all updates are free on this lifetime license. And again, the only way you're going to get a lifetime license is part of this beta group. And then it will be released on that subscription only basis. Because why will it be so much money? Just to let you know that the Guardian zones, this is just an introductory offer at $50 a month. It's going to go up to $100, $150 a month. This will have a lot more logic in it. This is why it's going to be $250 a month, but you will be getting a return on investment every month with something like this. So the lifetime access is $1,000. There's no $999, $997. It's just $1,000. You get it for life. You work with me for 6 to 8 months, and we make it a hell of a lot better. It works fantastically now. It's the fine tuning with entry, with trade management, and basically building the education on it as well. So we make sure that people are sort of really educated on it as well. So I'm going to give you the link in the chat, and then we're going to look at real charts. Okay. So let me just find the chat. And there are only 50 people. Okay. And I know 2 people in this room have already got it. So there's only 48. And there's 85 people in this room right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to escape from there. Okay. I'm going to pull over a chart. This is, by the way, this is the new version of NinjaTrader. So we are making sure that everything works on the new version there. Just bring that chat back up again. Where's it gone? There it is. No, the trade manager will not be, it will not be an automated trading strategy, Ashish, okay? It will be a trading indicator, but a complete strategy where the trade management gives you obvious alerts, identify the times to get out, okay? This is not going to be an automated trading strategy at this moment, okay? The logic's just too complex. So we are going to go to ES, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take the Guardian zones off for now, okay? Now, what I want you to do is tell me something that you trade and on what time frame you trade, even if it's a non. The only thing I can't do is Unirenko, because I've literally just the last 2 days started the download of the new NinjaTrader version. I just remembered I've not put Unirenko on there. So let me know an instrument. Please not let it be a stock, because again, I'm on the new one and I haven't got DAX 30. Let's see if I can get. So I can do the futures for that on FDAX. Yeah. Okay, this is FDAX. So FDAX is the micro, okay? Any sort of time frame, Alexander, what do you trade that on? I mean, I can see some fantastic trades already on the 5 minutes. So let's just go through 1 day on FDAX, okay? So this point here, the pullback wasn't deep enough, so we don't take the trade. I'm just going to take the Guardian zones off for now, because we need to work with that with the when we do the dev. So we start to pull back away from there. We pull back up into the 75% zone. We go short, target 1, target 2, target 3. And again, the manager's on here, so we actually wouldn't get out until this point here. Then we start to move up, it pulls back, but then we get a trend failure, we go short, okay? So that's FDAX on the 15. We could go, let's go daily, okay? I've not actually seen this on the daily yet. Again, it's not a stock, but you know, we're reasonably good. So we get the trend failure here, which is pretty cool, comes down, pulls back into there, then hits target 1, target 2, target 3. Yes, it will work on there. I've got it on the old version as well, but I've got a new trading computer, and I thought, why not put the new version of NinjaTrader on and make sure everything works on there as well, okay? So we had ES on the 1 minute. Okay, let's go for ES on the 1 minute. Scalper, John the scalper. Okay, so here, I mean, this is a prime example today. We do get this false breakout stochastic coming down. It pulls back into that pullback zones, and all of a sudden we start to print the pullback zones for the long, okay? It's really scrappy, pulls back into there. We get the long signal, target 1, target 2. Again, I've just got to, again, we can see where the resistance was on the Guardian zones here. Comes back down, false breakout stochastic here. So remember, that denotes strong bearish trend. It pulls back against that trend, comes back into that 75% zone, go the short, target 1, target 2 at the Guardian zones, freaky that. Pulls back up and then comes back down again. So part of this beta group is we're going to be understanding what happens at this point. So when we start to introduce the Guardian zones to this as well, we're going to understand target 2 is actually at one of the Guardian zones, and it pulls back. What is the fib pullback on there before it turns back down again? Where's the criteria to understand that that's normal behavior? So that's ES, and we're going to go HE on the 10 minutes. Type that in. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Comes up, pulls back into the final pull, into the first pullback zone, goes long, and it just keeps going. Okay, there's a pullback during that long into that first zone, another chance to add another contract there, comes back up, pulls back down again, goes long again into that first zone, pulls back down again into that second zone, goes long into that first target zone. That's a big, I think you'll admit that is a very good example today of how this strategy really works for multiple entries. Again, part of this beta testing group is that's the sort of feedback that we want those visible labels for target zones and pullback zones, and those would be probably added and toggled on and off if for people. So again, so Louise, right. I'm just letting you know on the new version of NinjaTrader, it's not quite the same. So I have Kinetic for stocks, but I can't connect Kinetic on here because I have three different. I have a developer's account with NinjaTrader and also a live trading account. Now, with this new version, you put it on live. You can't have the old SIM 001 at the moment. So I can't get the stocks data at the moment. That's why it's really, really difficult. So it's not just pullbacks, it's about Elliott waves as well, and a few EMAs and things like that. So, you know, that's where we are with that. There's a lot of logic. The idea with any xBrat indicator that we do is all those calculations are done behind the scenes to keep the chart clean, and that's the most important thing there. So we've done HE. Where else was we? US 30 weekly. So that is US 30. So that's YM, isn't it? Is it YM? US 30 weekly. I think it is. I'm not sure on the weekly. So at the moment, it's not including the manager because it's something I want to add on, or the logic to add on. Okay, so the SlingShot is not it doesn't include the manager, it doesn't include the bias depth heat map because it's something that we're going to build in. So as we build that trade management in, what version that looks like with there, you'll get those updates sharing. Okay, so it will have some version logic of the manager, but this particular type of trading behaves in a slightly different way. So we're going to have to adjust that logic and then build it into the SlingShot. So when we do that as part of that beta testing, you'll get the update for free because you're a lifetime licensed member because you've joined the beta testing. So this is YM on the weekly. We get this. This is pretty cool. We come back down. We get the trend failure at this point at 24894. We pull up, we pull back, we get a second entry on the long, target 1, target 2, target 3, just keep going until that point there. And then we come back down, we get this pullback into this zone, doesn't take the short, actually has a trend failure. Right now, we've pulled back into the 75% zone. So again, when we're looking at weekly timeframes on these larger indexes and everything, we've got to look back 5 years, need to understand that behavior, what's happening. This is simple. Trend failure, pull back against this new trend, we add to it and we just go long, and that's just a mega trade that makes you a year, okay? I'm more interested in what happens here. So George, at some stage, a version of the Guardian zones will be put as part of the SlingShot, okay? Again, it's about building the thought process and you guys getting involved with that development with me. So we'll be trialing certain things and then building it in. I think the only issue with the Guardian zones and the SlingShot together, the developer needs to let me know how it will work together. Well, it will put the system under load. What will be the minimum requirement for computers to run both of those extremely hard-working indicators together. Okay, that's another thing that we need to try and part of that process. I would get the bias depth heat map anyway, Melinda, because it literally is useful on every single strategy that you use. You do need confirmation of any signal. Okay. Any more time frames? We lost a few people there, perhaps because they're not NinjaTrader. That's fine. We need, you know, serious people here to come on board with this. I mean, you know, when it comes out, $250 a month compared to $1,000 now for life, work with me to make it the gold standard will be really good. It won't. At this moment in time, it's going to take 6 to 8 months to finish the beta testing on NinjaTrader. I know it would take a good 6 months, if not more, after that to get it ready for TradingView if they start to update their logic and their code. The thing is with TradingView, you've got to remember, with NinjaTrader, you download it onto your computer, you can do more with it. You know, as software companies, we can actually do more with it, add more logic to it, as long as the computer is powerful enough. With TradingView, it's all web-based, it's cloud-based, so there's restrictions on what you can do. Thanks, Luis. Yeah, the heat map does save you from getting in some dodgy trades, I must admit. Okay. So let's have a look at. Yes, it does put a lot of strain on the computer. I mean, I've just bought this new all singing, all dancing supercomputer. You know, it's the i7 12th gen, the latest gen i7. It's actually got 2 4-port graphic cards in there rather than trying to get a 6-port. And then all this, you know, 64 gig of RAM, you know, all these different it's a terabyte SSD, it's a terabyte hard drive. There's lots of stuff. No Amex. No, we don't take Amex, I'm afraid. Yes, there will be a recording of this, and then we'll be starting the monthly Zoom call soon. You'll be on the WhatsApp group for it and everything else. So there'll be constant communication and talking, and every video that we make for the beta group we'll record and will be available for you guys. Okay. So I do apologize. I've moved to Dubai more permanently, which means I've had to move the processor for the business, and Dubai don't like Amex for some reason. So Stripe, because it's denominated in Dubai, they just don't accept Amex, I'm afraid. So please try another type of card. So the bias with 1 hour should be at least day trading at least. Yeah, it really does depend on the instrument you're trading and how that sort of behaves. Really, if it's a lot of parabolic moves in there, you're probably going to be, you know, day trading would be good. Swing trading is too far out. So I was just going to go and check on. We haven't done currencies pair, so I'm going to. Where do you see this shine in terms of timeframes for futures and indexes? So by my heart, okay, is swing trading stocks, but for futures, this is really good. You know, for me, you've got strategies that we will build with this. So we're going to be looking at, if you want to swing trade it on the 30-minute time frame, you're going to be doing that on Monday and Tuesday. If you're not in a Monday or Tuesday, you're going to be looking for shorter time frames. we're going to be looking at 5 3-minute, maybe 15. If it's a currency futures, it's going to be 10 minutes, that sort of thing. So I can't check on stocks because I've just moved over and I don't have the stocks data on this particular version of NinjaTrader. So it's on my old trading computer, which is down on the floor over there. So I can look at gold for now. Let's have a look at gold. So the entry conditions are going to change, okay? So just be aware, part of the development process and the beta testing is to understand the better entry strategies and what to use, okay? So gold's been horrible just lately. Oof. See a trend failure there, and it's gone to the moon. That was a big data move on gold yesterday. Let's go bigger on gold for a second. Yeah, there we go. Again, don't get stuck on thinking that you have to be on a small time frame. Okay. At this moment in time, this new trading computer I've got can take 8 monitors. I've only got 5 up and running for now. There will be a big 55-inch monitor on my wall to the right there that will be connected as well, because the multiple time frame approach is really important. And those on my apprenticeship will actually tell you that I only trade copper or oil. Okay. If you're going to be using this slingshot, you stick to one instrument. You have multiple charts on multiple time frames with the slingshot on, and you start to understand that behavior with your instrument. So this is on scalping, so I need to change the bias depth heat map. So indicators, heat map, day trading. There's not enough data there, so I'm going to have to go to data series now. And we're going to go to bars 2001. Click Y. Okay. So yeah, this is something that we're playing with at the moment. So the green arrow's got to also, you've got to have the confirmation. You see the green arrow is on here. Look at the bias depth heat map. All 6 time frames are green. You're good to go. You've got a red arrow here. You don't get the confirmation. So we're working on a double confirmation, if you like. So this is bias down the bottom from multiple time frames. This is more to do with stochastic and MACD. So to have both is really cool. Yeah. So here on gold, on the 60-minute, we get a trend failure, 83.2. And you see how the trend failure coincides with the daily support zone here. Okay. Pumps down and we go 30 ticks. Then we start to come back up, comes back up through that daily time zone from the Guardian zones, pulls back into the 85% pullback zone and the daily zone, gets the green arrow, gets the confirmation, goes long, target 1, target 2, target 3, and then finds resistance at the weekly zone. Okay. This is why gold's gone sideways right now, because the institutional traders understand that this is at a weekly zone. It ain't going anywhere until you get a big catalyst. The most likely scenario is that gold will come down. Okay, so this goes to show you that actually combining with that, the Guardian zones is extremely strong on a great deal of occasions. If you're 1 minute scalper and you've only got a specific time of the day that you can use, John, I would recommend the VWAP Predator, to be honest, okay? Purely because you're only going to have certain times of the day when you can trade. You know, that's my personal opinion right now, okay? I've been in meetings all day, so sorry if I've not responded. I probably get 200 emails a day, and I do have somebody that answers a lot of those, and we've just taken somebody else on. So this is just a great example here. So John, I would start with the VWAP Predator. Okay, no problem. Sometimes I'm on autopilot, so it does get there. So I'm just going to try and stop, but I don't think the data will work because so what you get with the new Ninja Trader, you see, on the connections, you get live and simulation. But the live and simulation are not the old Sim 001, which I have there. So on the connections, I can't add the kinetic for some reason. There's no option here to do that. Whereas on the old version, you can add more providers. So again, I've got to go back and like a man, typical man, I've got to go back and read the instructions because I never read the instructions to begin with. So there is a way. I've just got to find it. So I can't do the stocks at the moment. But again, when we look at those indexes and we go to RTY, for example, and we've got the daily time frame, thousands of stocks in the RTY, they make it move. Okay, so RTY this year, we had a nice on the daily time frame. RTY, look, we had a failure. The long was on, yeah. Then we had a pullback against the long, but guess what? It spotted that this pullback against there actually was going to turn down. Target 1, target 2, target 3. This is on the daily time frame for RTY, and stocks do behave like that. Okay, really, really strong there. No problem, John. You're very welcome. So, guys, you need to ask me some more questions about this. We've got 15 minutes left. This is important because I need some traders from different walks of life, different types of instruments that you're trading. Once we close this beta group off, no one will ever get a lifetime license on this. So this is pretty much an ideal opportunity to actually get involved in developing something as well. I mean, it's pretty cool as it is, but I want to work on trade management and entry and get that all built into the indicator and those confirmations as well. So we have something that's in a box, ready to go, so people can lease it towards the end of the year. So please ask those questions. Don't be afraid. Apologies for the coughing fit. I've been talking all day. I'm in meetings, so this short entry here. So let's talk through this really. So what we have is we've got options for entry types of strategies. We can add an EMA cloud, for example. So if I go to indicators here, I don't think I've got EMA cloud on here. I think I might have actually. No, I've not got it on yet. Okay, so this is the manager. So what, for me personally, because we've had some big rejections here, this is a daily time frame, I want to make sure it breaks these lows here. So my entry is going to be quite conservative, but that's the type of trader I am. Okay. To be honest, what we've got here, and when we're going to be working together with the beta group, is we've got a really strong signal here in that this candle is a distribution candle. So it's more volume than the previous one. And that's a good indication that's going to go short. But look down at the bias depth heat map at the moment on day trading there. Let's change the bias depth heat map to swing trading. Second. So Again, there's something that we use with the alley wave indicator called 6-4 moving average high as well. So I want to see how that sort of responds to help with entry strategies as well. And again, entry strategies are going to be different from swing trading to day trading because the candles will be different. So this is a whole day on RTY. So we push down, the market says no thank you very much, rejects those lows and comes back up again. Okay, so that is a rejection, but it's a low volume rejection. Okay, then we get the next day, which is a higher high, higher low, but it has even less volume. Okay, then this next candle is a red candle, so it's got more sellers than buyers. It's got more volume than the previous day. So this is a good indication that this really could be a way to go. Okay, so we're going to have to look at using EMA clouds, looking at the bias, and actually maybe even printing an entry strategy. So that's something we're going to formulate together. So stops, again, is going to be something that we need to discuss. So a lot of the time with this is, for me, I'm always 2 candles behind. So for example, and 2 targets behind. So when we get to target 1, target 2, and then we get the next candle could break the low of target 2, I would go to break even, for example, just above here. When we hit target 3 in one day, that's pretty spectacular. We need to be 2 candles behind. And again, we can put this logic into it. So this is the second candle behind. So let me just draw a little drawing tool here. So instead of using the manager like we do at the moment with the here, we could have other options where we could be more aggressive. So I'm going to draw a little line here. Okay. Now, again, this behaves differently to the other versions. So when this candle closes and it hits target 3, we place the stop above this candle, 2 candles behind. Okay. When this candle closes, we adjust the stop to here, below this candle. Okay. When this candle closes, we're above there. Okay. When this candle closes, we go to there. When this candle closes, we go to there. Okay. When this candle closes, it probably wouldn't adjust. When this candle closes, we go to there, and then finally it takes us out there. That's an aggressive strategy that we can discuss and maybe build in. But look what happens. Look at the behavior of this pullback. Lower than average volume, lower volume than that one. Then it comes back down again with the bearish engulfing. Now we've come back up. Every day has lower than average volume with the manager. For me, don't panic. It's going to run out of juice. And what does it do? It runs out of juice and comes back down again. So the manager logic for me is extremely valuable when we're actually doing this, because what I'm looking for is pivots along that way. So yes, we're risk-free at this point with the manager. We get some consolidation here. We can put our stop and lock-in profit above, just above target 2. If I see any sort of higher than average volume bullish candles, I will just get out. Okay. If I keep seeing lower than average volume, I'm going to wait, because that's going to run out of juice. 95% of the time, unless we get a higher than average volume candle, that's going to push down again. It did. Now's the time to place your stop above that pivot just there. Okay. That's being sensible. That's using the manager to tell you what to do. Now we just got to see if we can get some more volume coming in each day on this one. Because at this moment in time, today's volume is less than yesterday's volume. So this downward momentum could fizzle out. But what we've done is locked in profit. So hopefully that helps with the stop placements and the entry. There'll be different versions, George, because they'll be specific to this this type of strategy. They won't be able to be cross-used with any other strategy. Okay. So again, what we don't do with the manager at the moment is place potential stop, place signals or markers on the chart. This is something that I want to do with SlingShot, is that we start to build in these strategies, because obviously things evolve. The next evolution of developing software for me is actually to tie in the whole cradle to grave thing with the entry, the confirmation and the trade management. Now this behaves different to all the other trading indicators that we've got, so they will have to be, the logic will have to be changed, and we'll do some trial and error, and then we'll develop a new version, we'll send it out, and all that sort of thing. So this repaint thing is, they are all there. Okay, they stop printing when the rules are broken. Yeah. So RTY for the last couple of years, we come down, we get a trend failure, we get a long. Okay, this stops printing. It comes up, it pulls back, we get a trend failure here, pulls back into that pullback zone, we get a short down to target 2. Okay, we get a move up, pulls back, hits target 1, comes down, hits target 1, comes down, hits target 1. We get slight trend failure here, then we get another trend failure there, we go to the long. The long goes, we don't get an entry here. It keeps going down. We get the pullback here, and then we get the short. So again, it meets the criteria at that time. Then it stays on your chart, because you need to understand the behavior and how it's behaved in the past, depending on the instrument, time frame, that sort of thing. So at this moment in time, there is nothing printed, because it doesn't meet the criteria for the slingshot. Okay. You just got to be patient and wait and sit on your hands. Okay. That's interesting today. This last couple of days move. So I'm going to put on the 15 minutes, see what that looks like. Yes, this is just huge. That is data driven there. That trend failure there was a great trade. Really great trade on the 15-minute. Gone sideways all the way through the night, through Asia. It does pull up. We pull back into the pullback zone, but then we just, that is one hell of a trend failure. That is data, definitely. Really, really good. Any more questions? Thank you, Vic. George, it's just a different strategy, okay? But it's a different strategy that is complements what you have already. Some of these signals just won't occur on other trading strategies. Dapasco, right now, if you get it, it's $1,000 for life. When it comes out at the end of the year, it'll be about $250 per month. Thank you, guys. Yeah, education is the root. So part of this sort of beta group as well is for me to actually really put down, because we're going to be having those entries, those confirmations built in, and those trade managements built in. So we really need to, over that 6 to 8 months, build a really strong sort of educational package for it as well. Thank you, Michael. So guys, remember, I'm in Dubai. It's late at night. If you've purchased it now, Damien is in Ireland, so he will get to it first thing in his morning, and you will have it, and you will have access. Okay, and then you're going to be contacted, because we need your cell or phone number to add you to the WhatsApp group, and then obviously we can communicate through the WhatsApp group, and I can give you the Zoom meetings and all that sort of thing. Yeah, you're not just trading the fifth wave, you're trading the third wave, and actually you're trading the wave four pullback as well. And then you're trading the second wave pullback. This just gives you more trading opportunities. So I did see something of the question in there. Yeah, so Neil, so the logic for the manager at the moment, there's only sort of three different settings, okay, or four settings, sorry. But the way that the manager behaves in here is too lagging for me to take those profits. So we need to look at a different sort of behavioral analysis that gives us those signals on the chart to get out and to actually print stop positions. At the moment, it doesn't do that. So I want to change the logic to actually accomplish that there. Accomplish entry indications when we've got the confirmation. So it might be that we don't even have a buyer's depth heat map. It will print an entry line or a zone of entry once we've got the confirmation from the buyer's depth heat map worked out in the background to try and keep the charts. So that's where I mean where we're going to be taking some of that logic but changing it and making it specific to the SlingShot, xBrat SlingShot. I haven't got the heat map on this chart. I've got it for swing trading at the moment. The data series isn't far enough back. That's all. The data series isn't far enough back. So I'm only on 5 days, you see. So I need to go bars 2001 and click apply, and then it'll just do all the calculating. Okay, there you go. So the roller coaster is basically a stochastic MACD cross strategy, better suited for scalping only. This strategy is looking for trend failures and for with trend trades. So we saw an example on hog futures today. We have 3 opportunities to add to that trade because we had the pullbacks, we measured the pullback, we got another entry, went long, pullback, and things like that. Roller coaster wouldn't pick those up, and roller coaster is okay for swing trading, but it's more of a scalping type and day trading type strategy. Where this is great for stocks on the weekly time frame to look for long positions for investing. It's great for stocks on the 30-minute. It's great for futures. It's great for forex. It's great for crypto because the criteria for the slingshot is different to roller coaster. So trend failures are not exactly breakouts. Trend failures where you go, for example, Visa stock goes up and up and up and up and up and up, and then you get in a pullback, and most traders will think, at some point this pullback's going to hold and we're going to continue with the trend. But when it goes past a certain criteria, that for me, that bullish trend is over. That's the trend failure. Breakout slightly different. The range breakout that we have denotes a breakout, a range for an opening range for oil on the 10-minute, for example, and then data comes out and we do the reversal outside of the range. This is totally different. There's no range here. We're getting the moves, we're getting trend failures, and we're getting with trend trades. Okay. Some great questions there, Neil, though. You've got to ask them. And I fully expect over the next 6 to 8 months when we're doing this with everybody that there will be lots of questions. And those are the things I need so I can build a good educational portal for the slingshot. And then obviously we can start to get those bells and whistles on it so it works exactly how we want it to do. Absolutely. Combining them both, it gives you different types of strategies. So, for example, you get a nice breakout and the trade's over, that's it. You've gone out the range, it's broke out. But what happens when it's broke out? You've taken your profit, it pulls back down again, slingshot measures the pullback, and then you trade with the trend again, okay? It just gives you those further opportunities. So when you're trading the range breakout, you've got an opportunity at a certain time of day. Once that range is broken out, you've taken your profit. What happens for the rest of the trading day? Okay, what happens if you don't get a breakout? I mean, you know, you might three times, 3 days out of 5, you get a breakout, and other days you don't. It goes sideways for a while, and then a little later, it starts to fall away. Slingshot will help you with that. Okay. Okay, any more before I stop? I will, when I get up in the morning, I'm actually going early to play golf tomorrow morning. It's my 1 day a week that I actually get out and get some fresh air. But when I get back, before you guys wake up in the US, I will get this video loaded up if you want to watch it again anyway. Okay, so over the next 24 hours, don't drink anymore, Neil. Yes, Louise, if you want to send money via PayPal, we can produce a PayPal invoice, okay? All you need to do is email Damien and he will give me the information and I can sort that out. George, why did I move? So I haven't moved totally. I've still got my house in Spain and I'm going back there on the 23rd of April for 10 days and then coming back here. And then in the summer, I'm there in Spain for 6 weeks. But there are sort of certain things with the business and opportunities in the Middle East and Asia that I want to capture. And being in Europe, it's just too far away. Here, I have to, yes. If we get to 50 and 5 more want to do it, I'll, you know, if they get in touch, I'll let them in, but I do need to close it at some stage. So yeah, go back. So Dubai is easier for me to get to Singapore, for example. I'm going to Singapore in June and in September. So there's lots of opportunities there in Asia and in the Middle East for us. So that's why, and I love it here as well. I used to be on holiday a lot here, so it's really cool. Mike, it's $1,000 for life, but when we launch it properly outside of beta, it will be $250 a month. If you click on this link here, you will be able to order it. Okay, if you got that link. No, sorry. We can't set those up with the system that we've got. Because the systems have moved to Dubai. And I won't explain overly what it means, but we can't do payment plans because it means debt. Okay, guys. Any more questions before I go? Because it is after 9 p.m. here and I need to stop for the day. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Neil. Ashish, thank you. Thank you, Zahir. Had a great turnout today. Very impressed. Thank you, John, Michael, Mike Ed, Neil, Martin. Thank you. Thanks, Richard. I appreciate you all. Thanks, Fred, George. I will try and keep it on the fairway because if not, it's in the desert. So cheers, everybody. Take care. Thanks, Owen.